Welcome back, guys, to another Point Park University Valorant game. You might have seen us play again on Monday, but we're back this week for another exciting game. I'm Kaiser, and I'm here with Aiden today.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
I mean, you've been here longer than I have, so thanks for having me.
Second time in the booth here. I think it's my third time in the booth, so, we'll see how it goes.
Well, I'm excited to be working with the Aiden today, but very excited to see the Point Park Pioneers take on a team from the University of Wisconsin, UWN, I believe it is. But very exciting. We had a little bit of a delay, so sorry for that delay. We were waiting for the teams to get in here and make sure they had all those players. But as they're getting in here, we will be starting very, very shortly. And I think they're just working on pick bands right now, but we should have an exciting series ahead of us.
Yeah. It looks like, I think Bind is going to be the first map. I think it was the opposing team's pick. Should be an interesting first map. I don't remember too much of the Pioneers play. Do you recall any of their Bind?
Yeah, so actually those of you who have been following the Pioneers know that in seasons prior, Bind has been one of their strongest maps actually to date. However, we are working with a newer roster here with those two new additions of Mona and Ari, who have been great additions to the team. We did go to Bind last week, actually. We went all three maps, and unfortunately we were not able to take it home. But I think as this team plays more and gets more confident, they should have no problem just really pulling it together. So maybe today is the day. 2 days between last game in this match, and I know they desperately wanted that win last week, or I guess not last week, earlier this week.
Yeah,
it was a remake, but I think each week they're just working and just chipping away at it, and the round differentials really has been closing that gap between them and the other team. So they made it to map 3 last time, couldn't take it home, but I'm sure they'd love to take it home in 2 maps this time.
Yeah, that would be awesome. First map here is going to be Bind, 100%. Looking at map picks or agent select here. Looks like the Pioneers are going to be locking Double Duelist, Cypher, and Hovering the Sky.
Yeah, so I know those of you at home can't quite see the agent select screen right now. We're working on getting that to you in just a second, but we do have the script in front of us. We are seeing the teams coming in, so you should see that very, very soon. But as we wait for those teams to load in, we can give you a little bit of a sneak peek. So like you said, we do have that double duelist coming in. That's something we've seen before. We did see Creep actually on, I think it was Creep on Jet on Bind.
Yeah, it was the Jet game.
I think it was the Jet game. So very, very exciting. I know they've been playing around with their agents, and I think, as with anything with a new roster, that's kind of what you have to do. But I'm really excited because it kind of allows Creep to kind of shine, and with Ari taking that role of the IGL a little bit, it's really put a lot of pressure off Creep and just allows him to kind of get in there. And now we're starting to see, yes, Creep on that Jet, and of course Clark on that Raze. Really excited this season. Clark back on that Duelist. We've seen some great things from him as well. Of course, Mona back on that Cypher. Ari on Smokes today, and Cursed with that Sky. It's pretty standard. We saw that on Monday from the Pioneers, but as we're looking at the team comp from the other side, can't quite see it, that 5th agent, but really exciting. So there's that difference with a Killjoy versus the Cypher as that Sentinel, and I think both agents are really strong. I think it depends how you play them, and I know Mona, who we saw in the interview last week, typically plays as a duelist, but has been kind of filling, and I think she's been doing a great job on those Sentinels, on those Smokes. Really, really excited to see maybe some more cheeky Cypher cams coming up from her.
It is going to be that Jet there for the University of Windsor. That is who the Pioneers are going to be playing today. There was a quick mix-up with the graphics earlier. But I'm really excited to see this double duelist comp out of Point Park. We have a great dive comp there with the Sky, with the Flash, and both double duelist. They have the KJ. Looks like we're going to hop into things here.
Yeah, I really think this double duelist kind of will allow the Pioneers to just kind of play to their strengths a little more and allow them to go in and get some of those early frags. I'm not typically a fan of the double duelist, but I think it will work pretty well in their case. And like you said, looking at the comp, Windsor only has that Jet, and I think raises that duelist we see a lot of times here on Bind, that ability to just satchel in there. Not really that typical map when you think of Jet, maybe like an Ascent or even a Breeze or a couple other ones. Let's say, you know, you don't have Chamber in the mix, but I do like Windsor's double initiator with the Gecko in that sky. I think that'll be really, really fun.
Yeah, Gecko's super potent. Looks like it's going to be an execute on the A site here. Just Ari and Jet here on the site. Windsor executing. Ari elects to give up U-Haul, use the Molly. Windsor did not clear Shower. Clark, Creep is still here. Here comes the fight. Creep gets the pick on Windsor. 5v4 for the Pioneers now.
Spike is planted, but only 3 members of Windsor remain. But a Chicken trying to find some damage to Ari. The classic. And Curse is going to finish that right up. Pioneers will get the defuse off, and that's round 1 going to the Point Park Pioneers.
I don't know how Ari survived there, but whatever she was drinking before, maybe it was Red Bull.
Maybe it was Red Bull.
Take a sip of my Red Bull for that. Jeez. Props to Ari for that. Getting 2 there.
I think what Ari has really brought to the team is she's just so disciplined, and she really stays calm and controlled in some of the situations. I know when I see someone like, and I'm not expecting them, I just like my brain turns off. I don't even think to right side. But I know Ari was so excited that she got to move from the casting desk to the team, and we've seen the impact that she really brings to the team. But that was a pretty clean round for Pioneers. Looking to be able to do it here. Now they are on that buy up. Looks like, though, it's going to be Pierre with that Sheriff getting that early pick, and that will be a gun recovered.
Flashed in, detect him, Creep, gets spotted, elects to give the gun up. University of Windsor gets the first pick and Shower off Clark. Things settling down here now. Looks like Windsor exploring B site now. Mona anchoring on B. Coulson electing to rotate over. Looks like Pioneer's gonna stack this A site, but Pioneers have the wrong read, and Curse finds Jet and U-Haul. Things settle down now here. 4v4 now for the Pioneers with 50 seconds left.
Yeah, thanks to Mona with that cam are going to know that they're starting to come here. Time is dwindling. But Windsor still going to have plenty of time to get that spike down. And of course, with that Gecko pick means you have that wingman that can plant if you need them to. Not that they'll elect to use it this time, but look at all those picks coming in with those pistols, all down to Creep now, who does have a gun. And if there's anyone I want to clean up this fight, it's Creep. Now that Brim is incredibly low. You still have 2 to deal with, and it looks like if they're going to be able to get that cross and going to be hard to deal with, but going to get that first pick on to KJ, shot to the head. Just have to find that last one, and Creep's going to do it, going to get that defuse off, and it's going to be another round for the Pioneers, albeit an expensive one. That should have been really easy for them to win with that buy up there.
Yeah, that was a great clutch there out of Creep. Yeah, like you said there, Kai, you know, Clark gets picked early, Pioneers get thrown off rotations, and then just Windsor was able to just out-rotate and execute and made it costly for the Pioneers. So we'll see what the buy will look like coming in the next round. Creep going to be dropping that Deagle down. Windsor going to be on a full buy here. Should be a strong buy for Windsor.
Yeah, well, I mean, especially what we saw from them on their save round. Yeah, they didn't get that last point. But just, you know, taking 4 guns offline from your opponents, definitely what you want to do on those save rounds.
Looks like it's going to be a dash here on Ari with the Judge. Let's see if she's ready for this. Here it comes. Bucky versus the Judge. I am a Bucky Supremacy fan. Ari gets the pick there, and U-Haul. Windsor backs up. Smokes galore dropped here. Windsor used all 3 of their smokes on that execute. Ari really stopped that with a hole.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one thing I know about Ari, and she's been saying this, is she is a shotgun enthusiast. And I mean, it definitely shows like that. It doesn't matter what kind of gun you have. If you're going to peek into a player like Ari, that does put Windsor here in that man disadvantage, but they still are in the gun advantage. Creep here with a massive flank, but missing a couple shots. Gets 1.
Finds the Brimstone short. Knows he's being swarmed now by Windsor. Flash connects. Creep still alive. Almost. Windsor cleans that one up.
Unfortunately for the Pioneers, don't really have the guns here in their favor, but they do know that Windsor still needs to push site with only 30 seconds left.
30
Might be able to
seconds left.
stall as long as possible.
3 here for the Pioneers, electing to play back. Let the plant go down. Clark swings, finds Gecko. Ari with the shotgun and U-Haul. Once again, Praya here in short, up on the box. Knows there's a judge. Here comes a smoke from Ari, top truck. Monas gets on, sprays, connects. Ari pushing now with the judge. Slip, cursed, found as well. Ari goes for the knife. Praya almost got her there with the right click. Oh my goodness, that's a close one there for the Pioneers. Praya able to just, I think, find 3 through the smoke.
Yeah, and I mean, that's what you're able to do when you have that gun like that Vandal in your hand and you have someone who can ping Spike for you. Unfortunately, the Pioneers played that perfectly, but just when you don't have those guns, when you have that classic and even that judge, and at the end there, you know, Ari brought out the knife, and luckily for Ari, went in her favor. But a very good round for the Pioneers, considering not only were they in a light buy, but actually they only brought 1 gun, which was Creep's Guardian, into the next round. A lot of them have classics. Ari, of course, with that shotgun. Creep, though, is going to bring out this operator on defense, so not a sight line you want to push if you're Windsor. Doesn't look like they're going to be going to Creep's site, though, so don't know that there's an op in play just yet.
Clark found on the first pick. Looks like the execute's going to be coming here. Jat, updraft, up to wood. Here comes the flash from Gecko. Mona back site, isolated. Here comes the swarm back site. Here's the fight. Mona does not connect.
That's a lot of damage, though, too, that this guy's not going to be able to heal.
2 from Cursed out of nowhere. Ari with the molly kill as well on the planner. Bomb down for
One
University of
enemy
Windsor.
remaining.
Ari finds another. Creep and this Jet just both dancing with each other. Creep right below Abduki. Right on top of each other in wood, and Creep whips with the op. Ari finds the trade in wood. Oh my goodness. They were just on top, literally on top of each other.
I thought Creep was going to go for another knife play there. Didn't quite get it, but that's okay. When you have those numbers and you can see that smile on Creep's face, I mean, they're just having fun with it. Point Park, finally, after all these weeks, in that round advantage, 4-0 right now. That's not a scoreline we've seen so far from them, so I know they're feeling good about that. And of course, Ari winning that round is going to be able to pick that op back up for Creep.
Ari 8-1-1 to the Pioneers, 4-0 start here. 3 ults online for the Pioneers. 2 good ults for University of Windsor. Let's see if they can build their way back into this game. Looks like they're going to take some hookah control off rip. Late setup for Mona.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Windsor bring out some of those ultimates, and of course Creep already finding one with the operator. Going to put a lot of pressure there on Windsor, but they did elect to buy up into this round. You know, this is a round they can't really afford to lose. And making their way on site, Mona blinded, but it's going to be Cursed and Mona swinging together. And of course, a beautiful smoke there by Ari cuts off some of that sight line. They're starting to push Clark here in TP. Going to go right into Butter Chicken's crosshairs.
Ult in view. Mona finds 2, takes the head off of Butter Chicken. And Creep finds the last one there. Pioneers with a 5-0 start. Looked a little chaotic there, but the TP from Clark, good trades coming out of that.
It also drew a lot of attention towards that TP, and they knew they were in hookah there. Beautiful shots from Mona. She was down to just 3 HP, but it doesn't matter. You only need 1 HP as long as you get your shots off, and she did.
That's all you need.
That is all you need.
Keep fighting until your last HP point, until you're dead, you know.
Amen. Amen. Pioneers 5-0 right now. Still 2 ultimates on board for them. A 3rd on board for Windsor. Already Abduki bringing out those knives. Looks like this is going to be an A hit. Right down to just 5 HP, and it's going to be Abduki to find 2 with the knives.
Abduki just updrafts there, finds 2. Ari finds the planner, though, in the open. Here comes the fight you. Ari finds another. Cursed with the TP fight shower. Knows Brim's stuck here with the Deagle. Gets off the line. Flashes. Finds Snicker Bar. Praya with the op mid-sight now. Knows where Kirst is in shower. Here's the reload. 2v1 with a minute left. Here comes a dog. Mona creeping up. Praya stuck triple. Pulls the deagle out. Knows Mona, and Mona finds the fight there. Triple. Praya just was not expecting her. Mona made no noise there and just slipped back sight.
Yeah, no, definitely well played. And when you're in that numbers advantage, although, yes, the op in the hands of Windsor, you know, you have two players that can peek together, but it doesn't matter. Mona is just better. Now, finally, a timeout coming in from Windsor. Well timed. They know they're going to be coming in to this bye round here. Just lost 6 rounds in a row. I mean, things aren't looking too hot for them right now.
That's a tough start for University of Windsor. Great starter for the Pioneers.
Yep.
Ari stepping in stride. I think she's 10-3 right now.
No, I mean,
leading the way.
Ari has just, her game has just phenomenally improved, even from the first week. And I know she has really been fighting for a spot on this team. Those of you who were with us last season, remember Ari was up here on the caster's desk like every single match. She knows the game well, and it definitely shows. Her game sense, I think, has also been improving, but it's really the whole Pioneer team has really stepped up. I don't think necessarily that Windsor's a bad team, but I think the Pioneers have really just stepped up, and there have been a couple close rounds, but in the end, Point Park able to come out on top.
Yeah, Pioneers coming out hot here. University of Windsor just needs to settle in here. Just map 1 of the series. If you're just joining us, 6-0 start for the Pioneers. University of Windsor down. Bind is our first map. Looks like it's going to be a full buy coming out of both teams. Op in the hand of Creep. Looks like he's going to be creeping towards Hookah. No one's going to be there from University of Windsor. 5 players towards the A site. Shower push coming.
I've got your trail.
Like that they're, you know, able to give them some of that control showers, but they know they have sight. But of course, when they're pulling out that killjoy lockdown, going to give them sight. Mona trying to run for her life out of there is just gonna make it out.
Abduki finds another on Clark as the bomb goes down. Abduki finds another on Pipes. Cursed. Creep now looking for the angle. Abduki just tucked away there in the pocket. Will Curse give him the third? Curse swings and does. Creep now knows where Abduki is, but will find
Abduki.
Wow, Creep.
Abduki did not need to push that.
Looks like he's going to save the op here. Pioneers in a good economic situation, though. Up 6 rounds. Windsor looking to take that op away from him, though. Creep hearing this with a little off angle. Finds Praya hunting. Doesn't look like Windsor's going to sacrifice any more of those rifles. Good round. Good save there if you're Creep. Windsor gets their first round on the board, though.
Yeah, I mean, that timeout was definitely well timed. I'd love to be in the room and know exactly what they talked about because it seemed to work. But I think a lot of that came from, 1, Pioneers did kind of let them have that showers control, and 2, that killjoy lockdown allowed them to get sight. And then, of course, when you're feeding Abduki 1v1s, Abduki, of course, winning those, that's tough. You know, you have to wonder, would things have turned out different? Say Curse had flashed, maybe. They knew where Abduki was, but in the end, Creep going to save that up, but not going to find any contact with this one. Bringing out the shorty, and still, it's going to be Abduki coming out on top.
Creep just overwhelmed there. That was great utility usage by University of Windsor, just overwhelming. Here comes the execute. Gekowalt does not spot Cursed, but Snickerbar finds Cursed out of long. Windsor gonna take the site here as Clark gets the Tane back site. 5v3 here for the Pioneers. University of Windsor looking to get their second round in the game here, and a quick one at that. Going to the last round previous though, you know, Abduki went unchecked in that spot 3 times. I would have loved to hear the comms of the Pioneers. Clark finds one in elbow. Mona finds another. Suddenly, this is now a 3v3. 2 ults coming out of the Pioneers. Clark with an ult. Fine. Chicken.
Open up the sky.
Snickerbar with the ult on Clark.
Isn't gonna check Ari there though.
With that shotgun, once again, you know, if there's a tight space, Ari's going to be in there with a Judge or even a Bucky or even a Shorty. Pioneers able to recover that round. It was looking scary for them. Mona and it was Clark found 2 picks,
Yeah.
and suddenly that round became winnable for the Pioneers.
Well, and you know, they did exactly there what they didn't do that round prior is they played together. So even, let's say, Cursed had lost that first one, Mona's right there to get that trade in. Of course, the Pioneers did need it.
That goes there.
Got both of theirs that time, but, you know, you can't allow yourself to just feed those 1v1s to a player, especially like Abduki. I'm not sure. I think they
this is
would
nice.
have been able to recover the op for Creep there. Yep, Creep back with that operator.
Posted long,
Is
jump
going
spot.
to see one.
Snicker bar with the deep angle. Creep just not expecting that one. Cursed finds Ramsey in hookah. Looks like the execute's coming. Abduki updrafts out in the open. Cursed finds him. And Pryor with the trade and the execute.
Lots of utility now coming out as Windsor makes their way on site now, just down to Mona and Ari once again. They've done it once. They can certainly do it one more time. Looking to make their way on site, but it's so hard when you have 4 members of Windsor with that site control.
Op now in the hand of Snicker bar as he took that away from Creep earlier and long. Mona spotted out an elbow. Here comes the first fight. Mona wins the first one. Ari with the flank. Not detected yet. Here comes that judge. Finds Snicker bar in the smoke with the op.
Enemy remaining.
Oh, but
Pryor discovered. Mona mollied off. This is hard with the time. I imagine low. Worried about the wrap as well.
yeah, I think time might just be a little bit too low, but Mona probably trying to find one more.
Looks like it's
Before
gonna
it
be
goes
a
off.
save. Will she get
I
out?
don't know
No.
if it is, and that's one rifle down, but that's okay because Pioneers still have those rounds to work with.
Unit, okay?
Still
Last thing I need is some hero.
up 5
messing things
rounds.
up.
Great value there if you're the Pioneers. You know, you made that pretty costly for University of Windsor. Have to full buy into this now. Will be able to, but it puts them at an economic tipping point. They should have a good loss bonus though now. Pioneers looking at a rough buy themselves. A Spectre, some light armor, and a Bulldog out of Clark. Looks...
Yeah. Well, especially knowing that the Windsor now has that operator in their hands, you're not going to want to peek any of those angles, and you know Windsor has to push on your site. Don't need to be too aggressive. Creep backing back off after spotting one in showers.
Yeah, that looked like a great little set play from Clark and Creep. Flashed around the corner. Didn't find anything, though. Abduki still prodding here in A short. Creep looks like it's gonna run into him. Sees the shoulder.
But not going to matter if Dookie has that operator in hand and is going to find Creep, but Clark with that judge in the smoke going to take that off down. But still so many other members worry about 4v4.
Placing swarm grenade.
Windsor backing up now, mollying the entrance. They're worried about this smoke. This judge has just been pestering them for round after round.
No one able to pick up that op yet is good news for both teams, and it looks like trying to take this time. 40 seconds left to rotate over to B site, but 2 members of Point Park waiting, and it's going to be Ari with the shotgun, finds one, looking for another, finds another.
B.
Still
30 seconds
alive.
left.
Gonna find Grim here, certainly. Curse picks it up. One member
Just
left.
not take that last one.
Clark, that judge. No matter where University of Windsor goes, they keep running into
They
a judge.
keep running into it.
That is the reality of bind, you know.
And Ari is going to keep using that judge so long as Windsor just walks right into it. Ari has put in so much impact with that one gun. 14 and 4 right now.
What a offensive, defensive half from Ari. That is, listen, that is how you play Brim. You just play him like a duelist.
Play
you
him
just
like a
swing
duelist.
everything, and that's what Ari's doing here, finding 14 kills.
I mean, at the end of the day, the point of this game is to click heads. You can have 5 duelists if you want. And you know, Bloomberg does have 2 duelists with their other players. If they're playing as aggressive as they are here on defense, they should have no trouble taking this home on offense before we move into Lotus. Abduki going to shoot that raised boombot. That means they know at least one is up A short.
Yeah, I love these little set plays coming out of the Pioneers. Clark and Creep just prodding throughout the map.
Windsor on this light buy. Now, Abduki did bring out those knives. but already in that man disadvantage, and of course that gun disadvantage, and look how aggressive in all these off angles that Point Park is holding. 50 seconds left, and it's going to be Abduki trying to make space here on this B site. Maybe bait a rotation.
Cypher gets called out on B. Looks like University of Windsor's opting to go A. It's gonna be slow here. 35. Here come the smokes. Clark backs up in the shower, finds the first pick and the
30
bomb.
seconds left.
28
Spike
seconds.
down
Here's
A.
the jet. Right click. Gives him a rifle as well. Here comes the ult out of Ari to force the plant off. 20 seconds remain now. Plant going down triple. 4v3 here now for the University of Windsor. Mona getting healed up to 100. Pioneers have Sky ult.
I like that Ari has a rifle now, but still electing to hold a ratty position like that. Beautiful shot from Creep. And that ultimate going to hunt out the last couple. They know it's in showers. But Creep just looking the wrong way.
Ari gets off the bomb and finds Butter Chicken there. Great round from the Pioneers. Wow, that was great.
Last round.
Yeah, I mean, that's really just classic Valorant. We love to see that, and I think that cleanup was so strong. Yes, Windsor was kind of in that disadvantage of Dookie going to be bringing out that operator here, and they did allow Windsor to get on site from a couple, miss sites and missed calls maybe from Pioneers, just not checking their corners, but in the end, I mean, they've been playing so cohesively, able to just get those trades off in the end and play together, and that's exactly how you have to start. But that's what we've been missing from the Pioneers weeks previously. Pierre going to bring out that dog to just make their way on site, and it's going to be Creep up there in heaven just watching.
Dookie with the up finds Creep though. Here's Ari tucked in the corner short. Finds one, finds two on Ramsey. Pushes forward. Trading spaces here is Pariah and the Pioneers. Bombs down short though. Clark creeping into U-Haul. Ari backed up completely.
And it's weird. The Pioneers just trying to pinch Windsor here. That ultimate from Clark is going to find one. And of course, they're looking for at least one more. Butter Chicken finding Ari there in the end. And also Clark now a 2v2.
I got the spike.
Posted bench. It looks like Cursed might peek this. Bomb gonna be going down here by Butter Chicken. KJ all available.
I like Kurt.
Flash doesn't connect.
Matter of Dookie with that operator now, all down to Mona. Can't beat that operator, but misses. Mona has time, but that attack and killjoy coming out, just going to force Mona to back up and decide, does she want to save that gun or look for picks? I think with bomb down, time is running out. You know there's an op in play.
Last round
but it's
here
a
of the
last
half.
round, nothing to save.
University of Windsor looking to make this 9-3 here. Looking like it unless Mona can pull this 1v2 off. Butter Chicken with Molly's.
Oh, I think Mona's going to get timing. And Dukie's going to find that third with the operator. And that's going to be 9-3 half in favor of the Pioneers.
University of Windsor pulls it back there. Finds 3 halves, 3 rounds on the attacking side.
I mean, I will say for Windsor, the rounds they won, they looked good. And they played well. Just maybe early on didn't really know how to deal with that, invested that time out 6 rounds in. Maybe we'll see something different from them coming into this half, but that scoreline is 9-3.
Yeah, if you look at the scoreboard right now, Ari 18-5, but on the other side, University of Windsor just struggling on the bottom half of that leaderboard to just find kills. If you're the University of Windsor, you want to just try to get these frags up, win your way back into this game round by round. This is only map 1 here of this series.
But definitely would feel good for the Pioneers to win this first map. I don't think they won a map 1 all season, if I'm not mistaken. But definitely would feel good, especially for their mental to get this win here. Clark looks like just creeping up with that sheriff, waiting for that smoke to go down. Going to invest that paint shells, it looks like, to clear out U-Haul.
Here comes the execute. Pariah naded off. Flash goes out. Smokes down. Execute in here for the Pioneers. Here comes the molly from Snicker. Missed.
Nice molly, but not close enough to that bomb, and Spike is going to go down. It's going to be a 5v5 retake.
Here Here comes the flash. Curse pressured on bench, sniffed out. Lurk shower. Praya finds 2. Creep finds 1. Clark finds another. 2v3.
Like that 2v2 and Creep finds one more.
Ramsey one shot here to the deagle. Not found here. 2v1 now. Bombs ticking.
Going to invest that wingman to clear out showers. Could have put that on the defuse if he wanted.
Clark missed. Creep toying with him. Ramsey looking for it. Pioneers playing this weaving back and forth. Get that pistol round and make it 10-3. Great momentum there if you're the Pioneers looking to close out map 1. You know, you want to get that pistol in. See if you can, you know, gonna force Windsor here to probably force 10-3 is the scoreline.
I mean, that's tough. I think a 9-3 scoreline is definitely doable if you're Windsor. But I think you have to win that pistol. Now they are put in the position, do they force here to try to get one? I don't think that'd be a bad call. Otherwise, you know, they're waiting till they can buy up next. 11-3. And that's tough because you only have 1 round to work with to let go. You can't afford to make any mistakes. Curse going to spot 2 with that dog. Windsor just playing aggressively. It's hard if you don't have those guns. Abduki did find 1 with that shotgun though.
Yeah, you know, a decent trade there. University of Windsor, you know, you get yours, but Pioneers able to get the execute down.
Creep saw that flash come out, but not going to find a head.
Ari caught in the open. Nobody covering her. Praya gets sat down there by Creep on the bench.
1 enemy remaining.
Looks like one's gonna get found. Ramsey picking it up. Mona cleans it up there. Pioneers get 11 on the board now. Yeah, you know, Windsor electing not to force there, you know, that maybe is a sign that they believe in their game. You know, they trust their game to win back.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the call to force, that's always a tough call because I think if you're confident enough that, you know, maybe you just let one slip, you can afford that force. But realistically, if you don't think you're going to win that force, then you know, you don't have the economy built up for that 3rd round. I mean, it's tough. It's hard working with the scoreline, and of course that toll that it takes on you mentally. Windsor looks like just scrambling a little bit because they know so many rounds separate these 2 teams. But Pioneers just seem to be confident and turn up. That boomlight from Clark is going to the back part of Hall, but Creep finds 1 there up long, makes his way towards the garden.
Abduki finds Clark there for the trade. 4v4. Here comes the execute. Ari, entrance Brim, finds 1. Creep finds another on Abduki. 4v2. Pioneers will have the site. 1 minute remaining. Plant going down now by Ari.
Spike planted.
Now just up to butter chicken. And of course their brimstone, Alex Snickerbar, to clean this one
Last
up.
player standing.
Make that just butter chicken. At this point, you can't really afford to not push, but it doesn't matter. Creep gets 4 that round.
Great
now,
flash there coming out of
that
Clark.
was a great flash. Match point now for the Pioneers.
Yeah, University of Windsor just losing that pistol really made this map 1 difficult for them.
And of course, losing their bye round here. I mean, they have to win 9 rounds in a row just to bring it to overtime. That's hard for anybody, let alone a team like Windsor that hasn't really been able to adapt yet to how Point Park's been playing. And Point Park just seems so strong and confident in playing together. This is a new Pioneer team, and I love what I'm seeing.
Here comes that judge out of Ramsey that was plaguing them so much. Curse sniffs him out though, bites him, does not get away. Ari finds the kill. Here comes the execute. JJ on site, playing for retake.
And at this point, if you're Windsor's match point, you have to push. Spike is going to go down, and you don't really have those guns to work with.
1 enemy remaining.
But a chicken does find 1, but now needs to find 4 more to keep their team in this.
Comes the push from the Pioneers. Double swing. Ari with a 3K to get that win. Map 1 win there for the Pioneers. A great win. A great start. Like you said, Pioneers haven't had a map 1 win this entire season?
Not, at least not that I can recall. And I mean, they have to feel good. I know they have been waiting. They have had a couple wins. You know, we've had a couple games that have gone to map 3 for the series, but ultimately they weren't able to take it. Now, Pioneers do have those games to work with. They can't afford to lose this second one and still bring it to map 3. But I think for the Pioneers, historically, they've had kind of issues maybe with stamina and just being able to make it through that third game. They just sort of seem to get exhausted and defeated. So I think Pioneers need to just clench this one out right here, map 2. But we have some really exciting news, everyone. We are actually going to have an interview from none other than Coach Sam.
Coach Sam coming on the
Coach Sam is
broadcast.
coming on the broadcast. Very, very exciting.
Awesome. I will let you do that.
Thank you, Ada. How you doing? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Better after that dub.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, I think that is one of the strongest Point Park games I've seen, especially this season.
That's been for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, is there anything different? We just saw them play on Monday, and they did well, made it to that map 3. Unfortunately, not able to take that one home. But this looked like an entire different Pioneer team. Have you been coaching them? Is it a mental thing? What do you think it was?
No, honestly, I think it's just communication mainly. We're working really well together. Our initiators are flashing well for our duelists. We're getting in there. We're making space.
Yeah,
It's been great.
I mean, it was so fun to see. Now, talk me through. You have a little bit of a newer roster this season
We
with
do.
the additions of Ari and Mona, and the impact that both of them have really brought to the team, especially as we've been working through the season,
Yeah.
has been great. Has it been hard to kind of bring that cohesiveness together, or do you think it was just an easy fit right away?
No, it was a pretty easy fit. I mean, both of them have been around for a while. They were both subs. Mona, especially last season, came to every practice. She was sitting there through them all. She got a few reps, and really we just slotted both of them in, and they worked perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, I think the dedication just speaks for itself, and it seems like, yes, this is a newer roster, but I think the more they've played, the better they've looked together. And, you know, obviously we can't hear the communication on this side, you can, but
Yeah.
it just looks, you can tell in their gameplay
Yeah.
that it's been coming through. So very, very exciting that you won this first one. Now, we're going to Lotus next, I believe.
Yep.
Do you expect Point Park to take it away for a 2-0?
I'm hoping.
I'm hoping.
I'm hoping. I don't want to count my eggs first, but we'll get there.
Well, I will
I have
let you
faith.
get back to the team
Thank
as
you.
we get ready to go into this next game. But congratulations on that really exciting, decisive win. And I think we have another good game coming up next.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, everyone, don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon with Map 2. Into map 2, we're going to Lotus next. Very, very exciting. Pioneers just won 9-3. That's been the, 9-3 at the half, 12-3. They won on Bind there. Of course, they had trouble in Bind on Monday, but we know from experience, historically, Bind has been a pretty strong map for the Pioneers. Had to feel good about that one. We had a little interview with Coach Sam. Those of you who are just joining us now, we're getting ready to go to Lotus, which is the Pioneers map pick, actually. So they stole pretty decisively Windsor's map pick there.
Yeah, that was a great first effort there by the Pioneers. Looks like we're going to be getting thrown into Agent Select here on Lotus for map 2. I believe Windsor locked in their full agent comp already. KJ, Omen, both sides. Looks like it's going to be KJ, Omen, Gecko, Fade, and Raze for Windsor.
Yeah, very exciting for the Pioneers. We're going to see Creep and Clark back on that double duelist, which, like I said, I've said this in the past, but double duelist isn't really my favorite comp when you're running like organized team tournament style play. But it works out really well for the Pioneers, especially when you have players like Clark and Creep. Now, Creep found a lot of impact last time. Clark didn't really get to show off to his full ability because it was just sort of a team stomp. A lot of Ari just camping out with that shotgun. Ari went crazy last game. I'm hoping to see a little bit more from Clark because we all know Clark has it in him, and it just didn't have the chance to shine because he honestly didn't have to. But very, very excited, and I'm excited that we have the 2 fades coming out here too.
Yeah, very interesting. I'll be interested to see how the Pioneers do on attack with that solo Fade as their initiator. No flashes. You have the blind from Ari, but might be a little hard to get these first angles. Creep's going to be jiggling C, sees a few people, backs up. Mona here with the Sentinel util. Might make Windsor think about it, and they do elect to rotate immediately off the smoke. Pioneers have a sniff of this. 2 players jump spotting from stair. Looks like Clark is going to be jiggling the line now.
Where are you?
Yeah, I mean, it really just took one smoke from Ari to kind of force that rotation here over to A site, but the Pioneers already waiting there. Just waiting to see where they go, and they have time to work with. But you're right. No
Spike planted.
really flashes at all from Pioneers, and of course the only flash there for Windsor is that Gecko flash, which Pioneers honestly had a little bit of a hard time working with on Bind. Of course, it didn't really matter in the end. Creep here, just waiting for the smoke to fall. And it's gonna be Ari with the right click, getting the first one, and
Creep finds one there in heaven. I'm surprised he was able to even find one. Mona with another trade. Makes it a 2v2. Ari still alive. Flash coming out. Swing. Nothing connects. Ramsey stuck in tree now. Mona finds it. Will there be enough time, though? Looks like it. Was that a 4v2 clutch there out of Ari and Mona?
Yeah, I mean, Ari and Mona, I think that at least from what I've noticed just watching these past couple matches, very, very exciting to see, and they work so well, especially in those clutch situations. I think the communication, because like we said, and Sam said, the communication has just been kind of on point, and I know like we said, Mona and Ari dedicated members of the team even before they were on the roster, so I think it's really exciting to see those 2 shine together. And yeah, Mona and Ari able to clean that right up.
Looks like it's going to be an interesting buy out of the Pioneers off the win. Creep with the Outlaw. Tagged up. Finds Snicker Bar with the eco kill there. Looks like it might be a B-pop from
First.
Windsor.
Just waiting. Ari put that smoke, but it looks like that is going to be where the execute is happening.
Clark finds one, gets pushed, Outlaw, finds another with the Marshall. Cursed, swarm them. Pioneers there, clean round. Cursed, just emptying out that mag, you know, want to make sure it's empty. Flawless there coming out of the Pioneers to win that buy round.
You know, I don't mind the B push there from Windsor. I think when you don't have those long-range guns, a site like B is much more manageable, and they do have those 2 flashes and that utility to work with, so I think they did a good job. But in the end, it was just Point Park with those guns that were able to clean that up. And I mean, you can tell also coming off of that Bind game, I mean, Point Park just so confident right now in their abilities, and I think that put a lot of a mental strain on Windsor because Point Park knows they can afford to lose this game and bring it one more, but Windsor has to win here. Already lost that first pistol round. Creep couldn't get out before Abduki ultimately finding them, and this is actually interesting. We saw a lot of Abduki on that jet and Abduki now on that fade, but able to frag out nonetheless.
Snickerbar finds another one. Yeah, Dookie is a great flex player, able to hop off there as Butter Chicken finds Cursed on the flank. 5v2 post plant here for the Pioneers would be pretty tough. They might just go for it though, try to take a weapon off Windsor. Raya finds Mona there in the pit, and Windsor answers back with the flawless of their own.
I think it's really hard when you don't have those long range weapons like the Vandal. I mean, you do have those Outlaws, but they really only have 2 shots, and if you don't hit both of those, you're going to have to get out of the way and reload. Creep not able to do that like we saw, but now Point Park able to buy up those rifles. This should really be the round that sets the tone for the rest of the game. It's the first full buy from both sides.
Looks like it's gonna be an A start here from Windsor. Might see a raised tether nade here. Catches one. Abduki just slips out of it. That deep right corner not caught there in the C's nade. Here comes the swing. Clark gets caught out there on the execute by Raya and University of Windsor. 2 players here now. Creep and Cursed get in the sight. Cursed in the drop position. Fade ult from Windsor. Here comes the execute. Raise in the pit. Coulson finds one. Abduki finds another. Creep finds one from the heaven position. 1 minute remaining. 3v2 now. This execute from Windsor just fell apart. Ramsey finds his way onto the site. Skates across. Looks like they're going to be hitting breakable into B. Mona somewhere nearby. Creep in the heaven position. Running CT. Snickerdoodle trying to creep up. Bomb going down now. Both players jumping up into this heaven position. Creep quick to CT. Here comes the fight. Ramsey finds one. Mona with the swing. Ramsey finds 2. Trade goes unanswered. 4v2 there, I think, for University of Windsor.
Yeah. You know, I think really what that came down to, lots of trades going at the beginning, and we're already seeing a timeout coming from the Pioneers. I don't think that's a poorly timed timeout at all. I think really though, and it's similar to what we saw in Bind with Abduki there when they updrafted up there, but they really just didn't push together. They had the numbers, and of course Creep had a flank on the other side, but they allowed Mona to go. Then the other, Creep didn't find his, but if you don't need to put yourself in the position to take those gunfights if you can push together, and they had the numbers to do that, just didn't do it. And so I don't think this is unwinnable for the Pioneers, and I'm sure that's what they're talking about here in this timeout. So I think they can come back. That does kind of hurt their economy a little bit though, because they did invest into that last round.
Yeah, let's see if Coach Sam here can draw up a set play here for an eco. Maybe get a thrifty here. First one of the day, I think. I don't think we've had one. But yeah, if you're the Pioneers, a good timeout. Just settle in. I think there was some poor communication there in that round, and Coach Sam wanted to nip that at the bud. And 2-2 here, map 2. Pioneers up. Map 1 took map 1 very convincingly. I think a scoreline of 13-3 over the University of Windsor. Looks like it's going to be a half buy out of Point Park, looking towards C. KJ alone here. So Pioneers with the right read, or Windsor with the right read. Mona here alone on site.
Yeah, hopefully her alarm bot should give them some early information, and she can just let her team know to start rotating and making the right call to just push off and wait for her team so they can push together, something they weren't able to do last time. So already getting that read, but unfortunately that does mean plant going down, and they have those weaker weapons. Now Curse should be able to recover one, but will that be enough before retake? Windsor has 8.
Yeah, that's a good look from the University of Windsor. Made the right read there. I don't know who their IGL is, but that was a good read. They were able to sniff out that Pioneers leaving Mona. Finds one there on site, almost another, I thought. But leaving on site, speaking of on site, here comes Creep, finds Omen in the pit, blind, pushed off, 2v1 here, tagged up, down to 6 HP now. This is so hard, swing and a miss. University of Windsor finds 3 now. But let's see if the Pioneers can make the adjustment. Mona isolated there on C.
Yeah.
We'll see what University of Windsor elects to go for.
Creep bringing the operator back out. And I think, you know, I say this every single week, but any damage, I'm going to keep saying this until it gets into everybody's head, but any damage you can do on a save is good damage. They got 3 guns offline, and if you can just start whittling away at the economy, ultimately, yeah, does that hurt Windsor? Not a whole lot, but it definitely allows you to start. And Creep and Curse getting those early picks. The operator already showing that it was worth that investment, getting 2.
Just an absolute flurry of fights there happening in A main. Creep and Curse in sync, just 1 for 1. You swing, I reload. You reload, I swing. Forces Windsor here to C site. Looks like they made the right read. Mona rotated off a C. Wingman's gonna get the plant down. 5v3 though here for University of Windsor. A hard clutch.
Yeah. I mean, they will have sight. Creep gets 1. That's the thing with those early rotations is, you know, I mean, Creep and Curse kind of had that, but Creep 4 with that operator.
4K coming out of Creep with that op. You know, Pioneers looking to make it hard on University of Windsor to take any space. You saw Creep there find 2 early picks in A main, and then finds another 2 in C site.
I mean, first of all, I think an operator in Creep's hands, that's scary. But an operator in a Jet's hand, always scary. And Windsor doesn't have that chamber or that Jet, that opping agent. So now, when we switch to defense, going to have a little bit of a harder time. Of course, anyone can pick up an operator. But the fact that you have to reload and you don't have an agent that can get out of there quickly, that's tough. And they know now that Creep has that operator in hand. You know, you have to make the right call. We don't want to push A long. We don't want to push C long. It looks like going to be walking right into Creep. But sees that and backs off. Trying to go B. I don't blame them. Not a lot of long sight lines there.
Looks like University of Windsor making the right read again here. Pioneers late to this. Looks like Ari's in. Broken though. Here's all this util. Sees nobody's through. Here comes the Raze ult. Finds nobody. Creep gets tagged, but able to survive. University of Windsor takes the site. Clark ready with this Raze ult. Finds nothing.
That attacker killjoy is going to give them sight. Allow them to plant bomb.
Come the retake from the Pioneers. Util. Clark finds 1. Creep wrapping waterfall. Curse sees 2 though. Clark getting pushed.
1 enemy remaining.
Raya in the smoke. 3v1 now for Creep. Looks like he's going to be saving that op. That's hard there for the Pioneers.
That is tough. I mean, and misses a shot with the op again. That feels bad. He's just trying to play for his life right now. That's hard when you only have 34 HP and it's a 4v1. They know where you are. They're hunting the operator down.
Raya actually falls to the spike.
It's good news for Creep there in the end. Able to save that operator. Things were looking dicey. But yeah, I mean, that was an expensive round though for Windsor. Had to invest that killjoy lockdown. And I mean, I think that did ultimately kind of give them that round there. Gave them sight, got that plant down, and it's hard to retake, especially Creep with that operator. That's hard to retake on a site like B. Especially when you allow them to have sight, and you kind of have to with that lockdown coming out. But
Yeah, I thought Creep was going to wrap Waterfall there, but I think trades were happening real quick. Here comes some aggression out of C, though. Clark flying out. Looks like it's just going to be this Omen backing away.
yeah, Clark was ready to swing off contact there.
Ari misses that one way there in A main. But Windsor afraid of that op in Creep's hands.
Ooh.
Clark gets caught out there, cursed. No trade. Advantage Windsor here with a minute left. Looks like they're going to be full pivoting to C.
I kind of like that, you know, first of all, breaking that killjoy utility in B puts a little bit of excess pressure there on Mona, especially Creep, bringing out those knives, and you kind of have to when you only have that operator, but 2v5 retake just Mona and Creep.
Yeah, Creep popped these knives, so he's gonna invest into this, I would assume. Sees the shoulder of one. Finds
Gets
one on the
one.
high box. Here's an Omen TP. Mona.
Give me those.
Creep finds another in the meantime. Creep sees another. Pushing up. Fighting. Gecko. Advantage. Ramsey wins that fight. Mona late to the trade there. Ramsey finds two. Windsor able to close that one. Creep made it a little interesting with those knives. But Windsor able to pull that away. Windsor picks up the op actually.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if that's the round I would have invested the knives at that point. Definitely did work with it. But Mona was so far back and shift walking on that retake that made it tough. Creep was able to isolate. Now there's an operator in both the hands of Abduki and Creep. Now Abduki not on that jet, but still a very capable player to have the operator in hands.
But look at this buy from the Pioneers. It's so scrappy, but as I say that, Creep finds Abduki with that op. 5v4 advantage for the Pioneers. Gecko ult still available. Snicker bar picks up the op. Windsor does not elect to go there.
I mean, I certainly don't blame them now. They do have a flash to work with, something that the Pioneers don't have.
3v5, score of 3v5 here, 5v4 in the round. Things to a stalemate here. Both teams not peeking anything. No two ops are in play.
Yeah, but unfortunately for Windsor, they're the ones who are going to have to start pushing site, and Pioneers know this. They don't need to get aggressive. They can just wait out that timer. Windsor trying to decide where they want to go, but it looks like ultimately might be an A push, but that...
Pariah catches some good timing here. Clark missed this rotation. They're going to hear him rotating off, but
30 seconds left.
second guessing himself. Spot checks it again, sees two players. Misses the nade though. 20 seconds. Looks like the execute's coming here for Windsor. Ari in tree. 15 seconds. Bomb going down now. Wingman have not cleared tree. There's Ari with that judge. Finds another one.
Planted.
Judge. Bomb goes down from Wingman though. 4v2 now. Ari with that judge finds
Gets an
another.
operator.
Other chicken. It's Clark finds Ari. Defender Killjoy coming out though. Mona sniffs her out. Wow, that was a lot.
A good ultimate there by Mona. Some nice shots from both sides, but a chicken trying their best.
Yeah, that round coming to a halting stop. That round, Clark was the factor there for sure. He missed that jump peak and then started to rotate off and then second guessed himself and was able to spot it.
That's it. And good on Clark for rechecking. And of course, it's another instance where they walk right into Ari with that shotgun with that judge.
Yeah, haven't seen much from her this game, probably because she's using a judge on Lotus. Not too many sites as Mona's holding down C with that Killjoy utility. As I say that, two players on B. Creep sees one across rubble. Her swing finds one. Creep finds another. Abduki trades back. Pioneers win out that initial trade there in A main. Clark on the flank fast. Snicker bar is ready for this. Here comes the fight. Clark catches him out. Gonna be running now. He's gonna be hearing this B pressure. Opens the door. Gets caught out. Abduki with some great timing. Mona
Didn't get that molly thrown in time. It's gonna be tough to deal with, but Ari did get that smoked in, and it looks like making their way towards C, but it's Ari again with the judge. Fade ultimate though is gonna spot her out, and of course that means Ari can't hear anything. But the operator going to find both Alex Snickerbar and Wingman planting.
Ooh, Gecko all chasing down Creep, forced to back up. Mona caught out. Abduki in a deep position there. Water 4v5. Creep, I think gonna elect to go for this maybe.
Planted.
I mean, there's just two to deal with, so definitely winnable. I would consider picking up another weapon, which Creep is going to do.
Looks like he's gonna get wrapped though. CT. Looks like Fade already made her way through. Creep unaware.
Going to have to start isolating those. Sees one, but doesn't find it.
Checks the flank.
Gets
Creep
it.
finds her.
Knows where that last one is, but Ramsey has Molly. Time is ticking, and Ramsey going to find Creep.
Wow, that was great awareness there
That
by
was
Creep.
great
He
awareness.
just flicked around at the perfect time and almost caught Ramsey out there in that first initial engagement. So could have went either way there for the Pioneers. Don't win that one out
Yeah,
though.
I mean, that was tough. I think had Creep committed to that Ramsey engagement, would have missed a Dookie. But I did see just right there at the end, Ramsey hunting for the operator and was not able to find it, which is good news for the Pioneers. Bad news if you're Windsor.
Yeah, 4-6 now here. KJ all online for Windsor. They're gonna be prodding down B here. Is on Dookie with that dog. Chases Clark away.
Where are you?
Maybe some fake pressure here. A rotators getting caught out. Curse finds one, traded back with the nade. Creep gets out there with that G2 classic.
Classic fun.
Windsor fighting for this broken space. Looks like they might try to overwhelm Creep here in broken. Abduki sneaks in. Creep sneaks out though. Ramsey makes his way into A site in the meantime.
I mean, I think that's the problem with over rotating, but Pioneers really didn't have a choice. They were on that light buy, and of course that lockdown coming in from the side of Windsor going to be hard to push.
I think this is a good trade here if you're the Pioneers. You know, you're getting that KJ ult out round 11 here before Creep jumps through. But yeah, Pioneers just getting caught off with some timings here. I think some going in our favor, some not, as Butter Chicken finds Clark. Gonna leave Ari in the 3v1 with that judge. Even for Ari, undoable as
Yeah.
Windsor picks up a 7th round here in map 2. Pioneers up, map 1. Last round here before the swap. Looks like it might be a full buy from both teams. Maybe a light armor here and there.
And of course Ari sticking with that judge. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But unfortunately we saw just that last run for Ari. It works great when they kind of come to you, but very, very hard to retake with that, especially on a site like Lotus when you're pushing A and there's not a lot of those tight corners.
Yeah, Pioneers with a double duelist comp here, you know, looking to make it 5-7 for the defensive half. I think that's a great half for Pioneers. No fight A here as Windsor is full 5 manning C. KJ Util here set up C. Good ults online for Windsor. Might see this Raze ult come out here. Here it comes. Nobody home though. Mona electing to play off site.
Yeah, I mean, if you can kind of get out with your life there and play together as a team, taking a lot of damage, Cursed, with that, and it might be the Boomba that's going to spot Cursed out in the end.
Curse just unlucky there. Catches the last bit of that rocket as Praya just pushed through CT. Here comes Ari. Might find Praya. No. That judge there. Here comes the ult out of Clark. Rosa. Clark sniffing this flank though. Can't find it. 4-8 half for the Pioneers. Not too bad. I don't think so. That double duelist comp.
I think they're definitely an attack-sided comp, especially on this map. Now, like we said, don't have those flashes, but that might be okay. They might not need them. But I think, you know, definitely better than Windsor was looking in this situation last map. But they're going to have to win pistol. I mean, I think that's kind of the make or break, because if you don't win pistol, you know, then you're looking at a 10-4. But if they can win these first 2 rounds here, 8-6, definitely doable as they get into the nitty-gritty, those buy rounds. And I think Pioneers strong on the attacking side. You have players like Clark and Creep who can just get right in there. And yeah, maybe no flashes, but you do have Curse on that Initiator. Fade Eye gives a lot of information, and sometimes information as to where they're not can kind of point out to where they are, and it looks like they're just going to be rushing here onto the C site.
AJ Utility here though, smoked off as well. Pioneers gonna elect to execute through. Flash high, stalls up, connects with 5? Molly's getting cooked right now.
Oh,
Ramsey!
Molly.
I think that was a C's nade
That
there.
was a C is Molly.
C's Molly. Windsor. Man, that's a clip. Wow, you don't see that every day. That Pioneers just
No, you do not.
get 5 killed with utility from Ramsey. Wow, that puts the Pioneers at a 4-9 scoreline now.
I mean, we talk about how dangerous those C's nades are, but I raise you one better. That C's Molly, and that was really tough for the Pioneers, and you could see just on their faces there in the corner. I mean, you can't do anything in that situation. You just gotta accept it.
Yeah, that's a tough beat there if you're the Pioneers. You know, maybe should have executed a little quicker. I thought they were a little slow, but 4-9 here is the scoreline.
Yeah, that was tough. I mean, they got smoked off and just kind of stood in the smoke. And I think you either make the call to push or not. And I think having no flashes really did put a lot of pressure. You know, I saw them try to use that fade util, but I mean, that's not really enough to push through a flash. You either all got to go in together, checking and clearing different angles, or you got to back off. But well played by Windsor that last round. And this round, again, Pioneers on that light buy, and Windsor doing a great job of just holding off sight. It's going to be Abduki here, spots one.
Oh, looks like Creep might get a timing here. Might be, no, Creep
Ooh,
gets
does some damage, but not enough.
Gets the first shot, but just not enough. Looks like Pioneers playing this ring around the rosy game. 30 seconds left. 3 players here from Windsor on C. Looks like Ramsey in the same position with that Molly. Curse finds a timing into B though. Pioneers electing to go C though.
Go get him, buddy.
Yeah, it's hard when you're working against all this util and working with that gun disadvantage. You just have pistols to work with. Abduki going to get traded out by Clark, but finds some first.
Curse finds one in the back, but Bomb just was not going down there.
And
And
Curse knows he has to die there for the money, but got one, got two.
yeah, 4-10 there. You know, that was just the save from the Pioneers. You know, I think these slow rounds are working. They're pulling the rotations, but yeah, Pioneers kind of just have to decide if they want to go fast with that double duelist comp. You know, you picked this double duelist comp for a reason. Maybe let's execute on a site.
I agree. You know, I mean, I think also this might just be a little bit of a comp difference. I mean, I think there's nothing wrong with a double duelist comp. It worked for them on bind. I like that, but no flashes is really hard to work with. So if you're going double duelist here, I think you need maybe a Sky or a Gecko, or even, you know, your second duelist can be Reyna. A lot of information given by those two initiators on the side of Windsor, and of course that Gecko flash has been really useful when you consider it's the only flash in the game, and Ari not really in positions where she's able to use that paranoia, or at least effectively enough that it'll do much at all.
Yeah, Windsor was kind of able to shut down Ari this game, map 2. Scoreline of 4-10. She hasn't really been in the game too much off the top of my head.
Well, it's hard because you know, she does really well in those like ratty positions, which is why those shotgun plays work out so well for her. But Lotus is a little bit harder of a map to do that. A lot of open sites. Creep has to clear out and is going to find Ramsey here.
Wow, what a great pick there from Creep. Just lurking, like Kesnick on Crew, just lurks as that Jet and just can dash and take those weird angle. Here comes a fight B. Butter Chicken backstab by Ari though. Clark with that Judge, I think, or Vandal in heaven. Abduki slips into Broken here. Turret facing the wrong way. Pioneers unaware of this, I think. Freya with some door pressure. Here comes the kill. Abduki.
Nice.
Mona just flipped that turret the wrong way. Freya finds another one. Abduki with another. Suddenly, it's now a 2v1 for Creep. C's missed. TP comes out. Stick for Abduki.
Ooh.
Dashes in the smoke. Creep gets him. He dashed in the smoke. Abduki doesn't get off, and I think he barrel stuffs him with the Vandal.
Yeah, that like very well could have not gone their way, but it did.
Creep electing to dash into the smoke instead of spraying it, you know, works out there. Creep 17-10 now. A crucial round for the Pioneers. Puts them at 5-10 now.
I mean, Creep is such a good player, and he does, I mean, lives up to his name. He likes to creep, he likes to lurk. You know, it might just come down to them needing Creep to push on to site and do that early on. But at least he's able to clean up with that, and that's what they need. Pioneers still 5 points below Windsor. One ultimate online for each of them. And once again, creep. Just creeping up here. I like this default from them, just trying to see where they can get information, maybe possibly bait a rotation.
Yeah, this game coming to a snail's pace right now. Neither team wants to give each other anything. Creep gonna be detected there. Gets an Omen smoke out. Looks like 2 players here for University of Windsor. Dog gonna fall short. Mona shoots it though. Pioneers prodding on different sides of the map here, you know, making University of Windsor a little uneasy.
They are. Alex Snickerbar going to just spam through the smoke, but it's going to be Pierre who finds one on the creep and sees that trade trying to come in, but going to be able to make it out with their life.
Raze with a great jiggle there. Ari on, just misses the timing. 30 seconds coming here. Looks like Pioneers are electing to go A, and KJ is moved here. Almost gets caught out. But plays into her setup. Here comes the execute. Clark looking to spot her out. Just misses. Still alive is Butter Chicken. Finds Mona. Curse finally gets the trade late. And find another one. Last bullet. Shot in the back by Abduki though. Where is Ari? Lurked late through B. Gonna be round 11 for the University of Windsor.
And that's hard. Ari looks like is going to be coming right into a couple of them. I wouldn't try to save the gun, but is going to get a pick. I would try to save the gun.
Yeah.
I wouldn't try to play for picks, is what I meant to say.
You know,
But she got it.
lurked through, found one. Might put the Pioneers in a better position, maybe drop a Deeg, but that's a tough round to lose. Butter Chicken, University of Windsor moved Butter Chicken over to A, and that was the right call from them as the Pioneers elected to go there. Just finds 2, I think, before the trade comes in.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I think Windsor definitely having a good read of this, and I think also part of what the Pioneers are having an issue with is I think they might, at this point, need to commit to a site, and that's another nade they're not going to be able to push through, but, you know,
Ramsey just finds Clark there.
they might have a little bit more luck here. Creep trying to just isolate some of those fights, but going to back off after getting found.
Yeah, an
When you-
early exchange. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, when you have players like Creep and Ari both lurking, that really gives you 3 players to push onto site. And although Ari and Creep can sometimes find impact with that, Pioneers having a hard time getting onto site. I think they kind of need to just all rush in there together. Looks like trying to do it this time. Only down 1 player, but going to have to win this one. Creep invested those knives, but Abduki right there on
Windsor
drop.
here now. 3 players.
Okay, no one's dropped. Thanks to Mona. But that flash is going to do a lot of work.
And here comes the ult from Ramsey as well. Zoning out the Pioneers. Ari spotted. Abduki picks him up.
Oh, down to Curse here.
4v1. Knows he's getting wrapped. Abduki with a 3K. Pioneers they didn't commit there. They beat the rotations, but the Pioneers just did not detect that. And by the time the bomb was going down, University of Windsor had 3 players in the site.
Yeah, and, you know, I mean, we talked about Pioneers not having that flash site. Ramsey, I think, is finding a lot more impact here on Lotus than they did on Bind. And part of that is I think Windsor as a whole was having a hard time finding impact on Bind. But definitely showing up here on Lotus, and I think that's been very hard for the Pioneers to deal with. And now match point, they need to win 7 rounds to bring it to overtime.
Here comes that aggression I was talking about. C dive. Ari finds the first. Ari finds a second. Creep. That is Ari running there. Great execute there. Down. A little too late maybe. But Pioneers. Ari finds a third down with the Bulldog. Trying to will her way and her team through this.
Yeah, well played, Pierre, taking that aggressive position up heaven, but I think that jump peak is going to spot them. If not, those shots taken at Creep will find Pierre there, all down to Alex Snickerbar. They have the economy and the rounds to deal with if they want to just try to get one more offline. Could spam that smoke, but isn't going to. Might try to make it out alive, but they're going to walk right into Ari. Doesn't matter. Alex Gets one.
Might get two.
That
Creep.
paranoia, beautifully placed. That's 2 guns offline, even though they're not going to defuse the spike.
Curse gets caught in the spike too. Pioneers lose 3 there.
Lost 3.
Very costly.
Didn't need to. I think they got a little bit hungry there with that last kill. And again, that shows you that what happens when you feed ones. You know, they have utility to work with. Pioneers did get that one on the board, invested in ultimate, and ultimately what it came down to is, I think, pushing together, that rush together. You don't have flashes, so you have to go in, all check different corners, and take sight early when they don't have the numbers on site. You have the numbers for trades to come through, and unless they stack a site, you should be able to get that site. And I like what I'm seeing, starting to rush again as 5. That's what we were missing early on in this half. Is it too little too late? Pierre has an operator.
Ramsey disconnect though. Looks like round's gonna carry on though, as it has already started. A execute. Know the Omen's back sight. Here comes the fight. TP unknown. Bombs going down for the Pioneers. Clark unaware, a player drop. Creep. Abduki sneaks in, finds Ari on the rope. Playing ring around the Rosie now, back sight. After it all settles, 3v3. Clark spotted. Mona swings wide, finds the op of Snicker bar in drop. Time ticking now. Knows the op's out. Clark swings, finds Snicker bar. Not ready for that peek. Looks like it might be a Pioneer 7th round.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is that player that disconnected. Not sure if they were able to make their way back in, but I don't know if the Pioneers realize that staying on site. Hopefully going to make their way off before that spike goes, and I think they're in a good position. But unfortunately, Ramsey did DC, maybe going into a tech pause here. And yeah, like we said, that timeout's coming in. It should be a tech pause, but they might just be taking their timeout anyway. I'm sure they know what's going on with their player. That's what happens when you're in collegiate. Everyone's kind of playing in the same space, so really easy to troubleshoot and get them back in.
Yeah, University of Windsor. Ramsey just disconnecting here, so it looks like we're gonna be taking a timeout, but it should have been a tech timeout. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that works. We might need to reset the lobby here to get Ramsey back in. But if you're the Pioneers, you know, you're changing that pace up now. What do you think the plan to success is?
Well,
to come back
I mean,
to this?
I don't know, because, you know, part of you has to wonder, is that last round success due to one of their players disconnecting? And I think it might have been, you know, they kind of got into a little bit trouble with Abduki with that rotate, and of course that Omen they were hunting for TP'd away, and that's tough. And yeah, I think Gecko being the agent that disconnected there, you don't have flashes, you don't have that molly, and Ramsey has been putting in a lot of effort and impact into this game. It looks like we are starting again, but Ramsey still disconnected, not electing to take a tech pause. Windsor maybe just really confident in their abilities.
Yeah, University of Windsor on map point of this second map here of this best of 3. Pioneers took map 1 13-3. University of Windsor opting to play the 4v5 here in map 2. Looks like it's gonna be a full-on rush here for the Pioneers on C. Clark with the double satchel. Rays all coming out. Finds nobody. Butter chicken. Clark missed 2 Bucky shots. Creep finds the trade with the op. Pioneers not in full control of this site yet. Looks like Ramsey's gonna sneak in. Abduki finds 2, I believe, through the door. Suddenly it's a 4v2 for University of Windsor. Ari finds 1, Ari finds 2. Curse with 1. Pierre with the trade. 1v1 Curse now. With the dog spots Pierre. Jiggles right.
Oh, sees Pierre. Going to have to make it out with their life, but doesn't have bomb.
50 seconds now. Pierre prodding. Looks like he's taking the fight to Coulson. I detected Coulson with the clutch there. 8-12. Caught Pierre there. Out. Spraying the eye.
Just 6 HP left, but able to keep the Pioneers in it for one more game. That was so close. One more round. 4 rounds now separating the Pioneers and Windsor. And it's going to be Windsor whose economy is looking a little bit short, but doesn't matter for Windsor because if they're able to close it out here, that's all they need to do. Point Park have to buy every round, make every round count, but it's hard when you're having these rounds look like they could be in your favor, and it's so close, but Clark with that early frag on Pierre gives them the numbers advantage. They're going to push site. That Boombox is going to clear upstairs. Butter Chicken, they know is nearby with the Killjoy utility going off, and Ari finding Butter Chicken.
You should run. Spike
Clark
planted.
with that knife out. Killjoy lockdown coming down. So that will at least allow them to get sight. And Abduki caught out from Cursed. This round's looking really good for the Pioneers, but they're going to have to keep it up. It's a 4v2, but they need to put themselves in positions to be traded if these gunfights don't go their way. Now they know there's one drop. But Alex could easily TP out, but doesn't matter. Ari there to catch him. Ramsey gets one, but going to have to save the economy. Not in a great position. Pioneers going to put one more on the board, but still 3 rounds to bring it to overtime.
3 rounds, you know, that is a huge swing round if you're the Pioneers. Obviously, University of Windsor on map point. Ramsey getting hunted now by Creep, jumping it around, doesn't get that kill. But University of Windsor gonna be at an economic disadvantage here, looking at a few deagles and judges, but as we saw on map 1, don't underestimate the power of that judge and a deagle. Pierre with that deagle. A few ults to play with here if University of Windsor. But
yeah, I mean, that lockdown could really make or break, especially a retake. So I think looking at getting Butter Chicken out early, especially maybe if... Oh, look at that early aggression. If they don't use it, they keep them up. But Clark with that opening frag again.
Pierre just didn't spot Clark there on the satchel.
They're shooting Abduki here.
Creep
Going to find them.
clears Abduki out. Pioneers get the A site for free. That's another one if you're the Pioneers.
It should, and it should be one that they should easily win, just giving those gun disparity. Cursed there. Here's that wall break.
Judge, though, here on the other side, shouldn't be cleared, but this smoke scares me if I'm Cursed.
Ooh,
Jiggles.
spots them, but I think saw that Judge, so knows that they're not going to push that.
Cursed not phased by that fake TP. Swings. Takes down Snicker Bar. Clark knows KJ's up in heaven now. Here comes that flash from Ramsey. No connect. Might be a save here from University of Windsor.
I mean, do they even have the weapons to save here?
I think there's a Judge and a Phantom still in play for University of Windsor. Butter Chicken might lose that Judge, but looks like electing to run to B. Looks like Mona might catch one here. Butter Chicken just staying in heaven. Mona making a lot of noise, slips out.
Butter Chicken hunting, but not going to matter. Going to be able to save those 2 guns. That Phantom is going to be incredibly useful. Now, you don't have to have really an economy build-up per se. There's only 2 more rounds possible left in this half, but you do need to know that you have to take it to the next round. Now, Windsor, if they lose this next one, things are going to be looking pretty tight on that 11-12 scoreline. You don't want that. Now, Pioneers, it doesn't matter if they lose this one because that's game. But definitely did a really great job of closing the gap, especially these last couple rounds. Hopefully not too little, too late. Looking to make this a C execute, but there are a couple members of Windsor already there. And that Fade ultimate, Owen ultimate, Jet ultimate, they're really investing it all into this round. They know Windsor's bought up here, and they have to make it this one count. Creep going to take an aggressive position, finds one, and backs off. Don't know if he saw more, but definitely knows they're nearby. Saw that Fade Eye. And that Fade ultimate coming out, but Creep missed some shots, but doesn't matter. Going to find Abduki in the end. Now just 2 players of Windsor left. This 2v5 retake bomb is down. Clark going for some shots, not gonna find any contact, but did enough damage that Creep able to trade him right out. Now all down to Alex, is going to find one, is going to find 2. 2v1, but just 47 HP. And Cursed in the end going to finish that up. That's round 11 on the board for the Pioneers. Just 1 more round separates them and overtime as they try to go for a 2-0 series win here.
Huge round there coming out of Creep. Just, I was scared there, him walking towards CT, but he just jiggled and took that Gecko's head off. Able to just will his way through this. Looks like Windsor's gonna have a Bulldog, a Guardian, and some light armor into this round. Still have that KJ ult. Pioneers used all their ults in the previous round. Pioneers looking to take this to overtime.
The match has started. I know you're just looking at their beautiful faces, but if you look really closely, you can see the game on his screen. Doesn't matter, nothing's happened yet. Looks like Pioneers going back to that default, that 3-2, but electing to regroup, and I think that might be the call. They've had trouble those rounds that they didn't stick together. Curse and Creep making their way over, but it's really going to be telling if the Pioneers are able to get any damage done here on the A side. Now the defender Killjoy coming out, and Clark gets that opening pick. They're going to have to satchel out of there. That defender Killjoy was invested, that lockdown. Pioneers still in that numbers advantage. And Ari still posted up in tree, but Pierre is going to use a boombot to clear that.
Satchel out.
And now knows one's in there. Going in, finds one, but Ari with the trade. 3v3 now. Pioneers desperate for this win, but so are Windsor. They know they have to win here to make it to map 3. Creep sees one, backs off. I don't know if he knows there's 2 there though. Spike is planted.
Butter Chicken might catch him with the backstab, but Creep aware finds the flank.
Creep looking for one more, but they're not going to go stairs. Cursed didn't spot anything with that fade dog. Time is ticking. Flash was spotted out. Ramsey has the wingman. And Creep with 3 going to clean it up. We're going to overtime on map 2. Now Pioneers really want to win here. They have not won a single series yet. If they win here on map 2, that would be 2-0, their first of the season and their first series win. But Windsor not looking to go out anytime soon. They want to make it to map 3. Windsor desperate. If they lose here, that's it for the series. Need to put in a round here first on their attacking half to stay in it.
Yeah, Pioneers coming back from that 4-8 deficit, I think it was at the half. You know, overtime here now for map 2. Looks like University of Windsor is gonna start at C.
There.
Maybe a B split here as well with some pressure. Mona and Ari at C.
Early C's nade, but not going to spot anybody. Inching up towards C. Early Killjoy Util going to spot them out. And Mona taking a little bit of an off position. Ari and Mona left on site together. We know they work well. There's still a Killjoy lurking up B, Butter Chicken, but Kurt's gonna spot him out. 5-3 for Point Park. And Ari spotting ahead.
Another one.
One enemy remaining.
Creep cleans up the kill now. Just Snicker bar left. Finds Ari. Creep with the backstab in the 3K in overtime.
Point Park just need to win this last one to take home their first series as this new roster of this NACE season. But Windsor don't want to go home without a fight. They want to bring it to map 3. They have to win here to bring it back to second round overtime. But if Point Park can clean it up right here, that means they don't have to go on to map 3. And Point Park historically hasn't done well on that map 3. They get tired. It's a long night. These matches started at 9:45 tonight. I know they want to finish it out right here, but Windsor have to put in this round right here. They have to win this map to stay in the series. Lots of pressure for both teams.
Yeah, it looks like Point Park, sticking with what they got to overtime with. 5-man rush here on the C site. Just Ramsey here posted up in the left corner.
I don't know if they're gonna spot out Ramsey. They are, but not soon enough. Ramsey gets that opening frag before Creep can trade him out. Now they are on site, but they don't have Spike planted. Starting to get it done now, and Mona throwing some mollies there by Bomb.
Windsor gonna dissect this retake. 4v4 retake.
Now, Point Park didn't plant in a position that will allow them to play off-site, so they have to hold down site first. And Mona each getting one, all down to Abduki. But if there's any player from Windsor that's going to do it, it's Abduki. Finds one. Still needs to find 2 more. All
for
down to
misdirection.
Kirsten. Mona
Enemy remaining.
isolates them, but doesn't find the second. Kurt's going to clean that out. Point Park takes Lotus and takes the series 2-0.
Wow, 2-0 there from the Pioneers. Came back from 8-4 and then won it 16-14 in overtime. 2 great overtime rounds there from the Pioneers.
Yeah, this is the cleanest team, the cleanest really series we've seen from the Pioneers in a while. Of course, that last one got incredibly close, did bring it to overtime, but able to win it out in the end. And Pioneers have to feel pretty happy about that 2-0 victory. It's their first victory and their first 2-0.
Yeah, that's a great win there for the Pioneers. Looks like we might try to get a player interview, so stick around here for us.
We're going to go to a short break as we try to get a player in here for an interview, but don't go anywhere. We're going to have Creep interviewing today. You know him. You love him. He's got a lot to say, and he has to be feeling hype about that win.
Yeah, Creep leading his team really there to that victory on map 2. Really popped off there as the Jet.
Yeah, and I think it's really been helpful that now that Ari is a member on this team and is able to kind of shoulder some of the co-IGLing, Creep's allowed to just get lost in the game and just really frag out. And I think that's been very helpful to Point Park, especially with the loss of, some of their other players that maybe that used to have that role, but definitely helpful when you have a player like Creep able to get his, and of course the rest of the team to back it up. But I think Creep is on standby to interview with us.
Believe so. Ryan is right here around the corner, the man of the hour. Leave you to it.
Oh. Hello.
Hello.
Yep.
All smiles. You have to be feeling good about
Yeah, no, that was great. That was a great half. I mean, like, it was like our energy was really down. And I started picking everyone up and I was like, guys, let's go. We got this. And then we started talking about how, like, they were like really doing things. We really focused in on that. And, I was like, guys, we just stick together. We were kind of playing separated and then we all just kind of grouped up and it went from there, So it went from like, what, 6-12 or something? That was crazy.
Yeah, it definitely looked a little bit slow, I think, the first half of the game, but I don't know, it's just like something clicked and all of a sudden you guys were playing together. Beautiful. Now, kind of walk me through what happened. You guys won very decisively there on their map.
Oh, yeah.
Then you walk into Lotus, you're down at the half.
Yeah, no, that was a really. I definitely think the energy didn't carry over as well. Like on Bind, everyone was like, "All right, nice round, let's go, guys." Everyone was like live and whatnot. But when we got to Lotus, it was just kind of like I think everyone was just kind of a little tired too. It's also late.
It is very late.
But I definitely think that was part of it. Not enough Red Bull,
Not enough Red Bull. I've had a little bit too much Red Bull.
Yeah, no, that's how I do. That's how I do sometimes. But yeah, definitely the energy was lacking towards like the mid half there. I think us losing a few rounds and ending the half off on Lotus as 4-8 was definitely a contributing factor to why we were kind of lackluster. And I think everyone's confidence was just shot at that point. But I was there to uplift everyone and make sure we were all good.
Yeah, I mean, awesome, especially as one of the senior members of the team. You've been here for a while now. I know that since Mona and Ari are new to the team, Ari's been taking over a little bit of that IGLing role. Have you felt that that's taken a load off your shoulders and just allows you to get lost in the game?
Well, certainly. I mean, yeah, we kind of had to do some switching because like I'm so used to playing flashes and whatnot, and like actual supporting role. And it's like I think definitely the double duelist switch was the move. And I still am calling like towards the end there. I definitely started to pick up and like started to just take the lead on things and just keep it nice and simple. But as a like what's it called? I just lost my train of thought. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, like. It's just faded away right now. I mean, yeah, like it does like take a load off my shoulders, but I still like to do it, because at the end of the day, I love analyzing like what's going on the map and stuff, and
I think
cause.
that's awesome that there are two of you because one, that allows
It's a fallback option, you know?
it is a fallback option and it allows newer players like Ari who are going to be here. I mean, she's going to be here for the next couple years to
Yeah,
kind
exactly.
of get that experience in, and you to kind of just focus on the game and then share your expertise.
Yeah, exactly. And we talked about it after, right? Just see what went right and wrong, and then like what we can further analyze, in the future.
Yeah, well, so not only did you win the series, it was 2-0.
Yeah.
That's the
It's the first time this season. Yeah, no, that's great.
Definitely. First win the series and 2-0. You guys didn't lose a match.
Yeah, no, we didn't have to drop a map. Fortunately, there it was looking like it. It was looking like it, but we didn't.
No,
we pulled through towards the end there.
That was just for all you viewers. That was the entertainment.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep
we
you on your
on the
edge of your seat.
got the little scripty right
Yeah,
here.
yeah. No, I wasn't worried. I knew you guys had it.
Yeah.
Well, is this the new Point Park? Should we be expecting
The new Point
2-0s?
Park. I hope so.
think it might
I'm very
be.
confident. I think I'm very confident. Everyone was like tuned up today. Clark was really popping off on Lotus there. Ari went crazy on Bind. Mona was hitting some nice shots on Bind as well. Everyone was just kind of Coulson supporting is just insane today. So I definitely think that the new Point Park is looking ready to rumble.
Well, you heard it here first. Anything else you want to share before I let you go celebrate with your team?
Go Harmony. All right. That's all I got.
All right, everyone. Well, you heard it here from the GOAT, Creep himself. I mean, I have no words. Point Park's first win this entire season. First series win and 2-0 at that. Definitely don't want to miss any more Point Park action. You heard it here first. The new Pioneers. So make sure you follow us on our socials and make sure you follow and subscribe to us on Twitch to know when we go live next. We are going to be heading out, but make sure you don't go anywhere. In a couple days, we'll have another Point Park Valorant game, and you heard it here. You don't want to miss another 2-0. So see you guys next time.